Are you ready?
Yes.
Wait a minute. All right, go.
Hello, my name's Keith Patchke.
Don't say your whole name. You can say Keith.
You want me to start?
Go ahead.
Hello, my name's Keith. I'm 22, and this is my first DUI. I received it coming home from a bar. I was drinking whiskey the whole night. It's probably one of my favorite drinks, and I just didn't keep track, and eventually I got into the car, and I started to drive home. I'm not more than maybe 2 miles from my house, and I got maybe 50 yards before they pulled me over, and I was breathalyzed with a .18. And all in all, I think it's probably one of the most expensive taxi rides of your entire life in the back of a cop car, because it's followed by just tons of cash going out. Luckily, I've had a very large nest egg, and it didn't hit me as bad as it would some people, but the time and the effort is just absolutely ridiculous that you have to put into it. So that's pretty much where I started in these classes.
How old were you when you started drinking, and have you ever done any drugs that you're willing to say, and what do you think about all these classes and stuff?
I started drinking when I was about 15, playing a lot of beer pong, drinking a 30 rack in a night with one or two of my friends, and just puking, being able to wake up and come back and do it again the very next day. Besides pot, I didn't really, I experimented, but there was nothing that really took a hold of my life like alcohol did. So I continued to drink heavily all the way until about 17, when my alcoholism hit like a new level, and I spent an entire month just drinking hard liquor constantly. A lot of people were stealing bottles, and luckily I never did it, but none of us ever got caught either, but it was only a matter of time until somebody did, and I've seen other people ruin their lives out of it, so it's just really a bad path on it.
So getting caught stealing bottles from where?
Can
Can you say people would steal bottles from?
People would steal bottles from like Albertsons, Stater Brothers, CVS, everything from a beer run where just snatch or smash and grab.
So can you say everything from a beer run and just snatch and grab without the big hesitation in the middle for me? Okay. And instead of Stater Brothers, Albertsons, and CVS, could you say grocery stores, drugstores, because this is going to be all over the country? Okay, go on.
We used to steal bottles from grocery stores, drugstores, and basically it would just be either a smash and grab to all the way to an elaborate diversion to try to just steal one little bottle of liquor that would be passed around and killed within a couple of minutes, and a bunch of debauchery.
Do you still, after your DUI, do you still drink, and have you slowed down? Has it made you think about it more?
I've lowered my drinking dramatically. I no longer drink hard liquor. I only have maybe one beer after work, and then if it's just too late, I go straight to bed. There's no real need for it anymore. I do not drink and drive at any point. Even if I'm celebrating, I'll always take a taxi home because it's much cheaper, about $5 grand cheaper. What was the other?
What do you think of the classes? What do you think of the other people in the classes? What would you say to somebody in a DUI class?
The classes are really chill. I mean, relatively, I've had a really good group that's been real supportive. Everyone's really young for the most part, and then the ones that are older, they really kind of give a deeper view of how it's affected their lives through alcoholism and what they can lose now that you actually have something by a DUI. The people here, they're great, but I just don't want to spend too much time with them in the long run.
So you said your alcoholism before. Do you think you are an alcoholic?
I used to not believe I was an alcoholic, but it's getting very clear that I am, especially when I look at the tolerance towards alcohol that I had at one point. And no living person should be able to do that to themselves on a regular basis.
So how much did you drink on a regular basis? If you could say, I drank.
I drank whiskey, so I would have anywhere between 2 to 5 glasses just in a matter of 3 to 4 hours. If I wanted to drink to forget or really get hammered, we'd buy the largest bottle of Jack they sell, which is 750 milliliter. or no, I'm sorry, a 1.75 liter. And I'd kill that between one and one other friend, just back and forth constantly.
So can you say that again with the 1.75 liter instead of the...
Yes.
Okay.
We used to drink, if I wanted to drink to forget, I would buy the largest bottle of Jack they sell, the 1.75 liter, and drink it back and forth with my friend just constantly.
What are you trying to forget?
It was mostly like old girlfriends.
I was trying to forget.
I was trying to forget old girlfriends and just little rocks on the road of life that you trip over, just cursing every one of them.
That's great. So because now you know you're an alcoholic, are you going to do anything about it, or are you going to keep drinking for 20 more years? Or
because I do know I'm an alcoholic now, I'm constantly trying to wean myself down more and more. I only drink beer, and I've actually started liking non-alcoholic beverages. Like non-alcoholic beer.
Do you know that non-alcoholic beer has 0.05% alcohol in it?
I do know now, thanks to my AA teacher previously.
Could you say that again? I just found out that non-alcoholic beer has 0.05.
And I just found out that non-alcoholic beer actually has 0.05% alcohol in it. But that was knowledge thanks to my DUI teacher.
So, do you have relatives that drink? Do you have brothers and sisters or parents or anything? Any drug addiction or anything in your family?
There's no drug addiction in my family. The only drinking that really ever happened was when around a large family gathering. I was a beer server at multiple family reunions, but other than that, no one in my family ever showed any addictions besides cigarettes or tobacco.
What do you think of cigarettes and tobacco?
I think cigarettes and tobacco are probably going to kill me in the long run if I don't stop soon.
How much do you smoke?
I smoke anywhere between 15 cigarettes to about 2 packs in a day.
Have you ever tried the...
E-cigarette? I have tried the e-cigarette. It was really early on, and I decided to share it. So I ended up coming down with bronchitis and pneumonia because of all the vapor in my lungs, because I would just sit there and smoke on it constantly.
Really? So what do you mean you decided to share it?
I would share it with friends of mine if they wanted to take a hit, because none of us would have a pack of cigarettes, and the cheapest thing we had was that e-cigarette, so I'd let them hit it. And
so because you smoked it so much, you got vapor in your lungs, not because you shared it?
No, but it became infected because I was sharing my e-cigarette with them as well. It wasn't just the vapor in my lungs from smoking on it constantly.
What else have you learned in DUI class? Anything else?
I've learned that alcoholism is a pretty good gateway. Everyone says marijuana is a gateway drug. I clearly point the finger at alcohol. That's much easier, and it lowers your inhibitions to the point where you do or you don't really care if you do a heavier drug at the time.
Mm-hmm. I can't think of any other questions. Did you get in an accident or get hurt or anything when you got your DUI?
When I got my DUI, I was driving completely safe. Even the officer...
Wait a minute. Weren't you driving really fast?
No.
Oh,
I was driving about 15 miles under the speed limit, which may have been suspicious, but I was trying to get over. Unfortunately, the officer's word was against mine. Even in court, he had said that I was driving safely when he pulled me over. There was no accidents, no injuries. It was just, if you're willing to get in the car from a bar, you're willing to get pulled over.
That's good. That's good. You're awesome. Awesome.